Okay, it's been recorded now, everyone. Sambil kami nak tengah cari list nama ni, nanti kami ambil attendance jugalah sebagai bukti kamu hadir ke tak. Sabun lepas ni saya buat Google Form yang mudah. Tapi tanpa membuang masa, kita terus kepada agenda kita, iaitu on the slides. Buka slide. Kita akan present. Okay. Semua boleh nampak ya? Harap semua okey. Alright, functions and graphs. I already said that you will learn function in module 2 for discrete mathematical structure. Jadi pengetahuan pada hari ini amat penting untuk digunakan dalam course DMS kelak. Jadi kita dah ada asas set semalam. Yesterday we learn a little bit on set. We start with an introduction of set first. Suppose you have two sets. Let us name as a set A and set B. Let A as, for example, I have 3 elements, 1, 2, 3. Ni random saja. B saya letaklah 1, 4, 9, 16. Okay. Suppose I want to have some sort of relationship between A and B. Jadi saya letaklah A, ni set A, ni set B. Okay, A contains 1, 2, 3 and 1, 4, 9, 16 kat sini. A basic concept of a function is an assignment of element from A to B. Okay. So katakan saya assign lah 1 kepada 1, 2 kepada 4, 3 kepada 9. That's all. 16 tak apa. This one is still a function. We try to assign an element from A to B. And if you try to recall back what you have already learned from your mathematics teacher from secondary school, this A is also known as domain. You assign an element from the domain to codomain. And there usually can be defined as a relationship of something. So dalam case ni, for example, I try to assign a function from a domain A to codomain B such that f(x) equals to x squared. Memang simple. Kita try nak assign satu elemen daripada domain kepada codomain. So pentingnya dalam soalan function, you need to define, or the question should define to you what is the domain and what is the codomain. This case is for finite set of A and B. So senanglah kalau finite set. Cuma kamu assign yang mana kepada mana. Do notice that ada yang case example yang bukannya function. So saya elokkan definisi yang baru saya cakap pagi ni. Assignment of an element from A to an element of B. Tadi saya cakap definisi mudah, assignment element A to B. Sekarang ni saya cakap assignment of elemen A kepada satu elemen B. So untuk contoh ini definitely adalah function. Color lain je. This is totally a function. Contoh yang bukan function. If I try to assign A and B, suppose we use the same domain and codomain. I try to assign like this. 1 to 1. And at the same time, 1 is also assigned to 16. 2 saya assign to 4, 3 saya assign kepada 9 juga. So this one, we have a little bit of anomaly there. For example, if I put F1 sama dengan 1. Tapi pada masa yang sama juga, dia sama dengan 9. Something wrong here. And it is wrong. Function must only assign element from the domain to exactly only one element in the codomain. Dia tak boleh assign kepada 2 atau lebih value. Itu bukannya function. So for this representation, this is not, this is not a function. Okay, cuba kita compare balik dengan yang ke atas ni. Yang atas adalah function sebab kalau kita try dissect satu-satu, F1 sama dengan 1, F2 sama dengan 4 dan F3 sama dengan 9. Setiap satu elemen dia hanya assign kepada satu elemen dalam codomain. Okay. Yang kedua, bukannya function because there exists one element in the domain that been assigned to 2 elements. Macam dalam case ni saya ulang. F1 jadi 1 tapi pada masa sama 9. Tak boleh. Ini bukannya, again, bukannya a function. Sebelum saya buka kepada soalan mudah, saya tanya lagi satu. Saya tunjuk lagi satu. By using the same domain and codomain again, 1, 2, 3, 1, 4, 9, 16. I just want to check whether you can determine whether this is a function or not. I assign 2 to 4, 3 to 4, 1 to 16. Is this a function? Fikir je. Ada yang nak cuba jawab? Function ke tak ini? Mana tengok muka-muka bridging ni mana? Alif nak cuba jawab? Nak cuba tembak? Ke Arisha nak cuba? Is this a function or not? My question is very simple. Yang ni, untuk contoh yang ketiga ini, gambar ni function atau tak?
No.
Function.
Function sebab apa? Okey, kawan-kawan cakap function. Saya lock jawapan ni, betul ke tak? Yang lain. Ada yang nak komen tak? Ada yang kata ni bukan function tak? Korang ni ada ke tak dalam depan laptop dengan handphone ni? Ada yang nak function rasanya. Okey, saya tulis jawapannya function rasanya. Okey. What is the reasoning? Sebab apa?
Sebab kalau domain banyak kepada kodomain 1 boleh. Kalau
domain banyak kepada kodomain 1 boleh. Many to one. Okey, saya tulis domain banyak apa? Panjang sangat jawapan tadi. Domain banyak.
many to one.
Many to one. Kawan boleh jawab. Many to one. Okey. Jawapan ni boleh diterima lah juga tetapi untuk orang kata to make your answer is the best okay, to reason yourself is the best. Kita tengok balik definition function yang saya letak tadi function, kita assign an element from A to B. Mungkin kalau saya nak bagi lagi cantik, assignment of all element bukan an element. Kalau element takut kamu kata satu je. All element from A to one element of B. Itu betul. So kalau kamu tengok gambar rajah ini, F1 sama dengan 16. F2 sama dengan 4. F3 pun sama dengan 4. If you look at this representation, yang ni, semua elemen dalam domain telah diassign kepada satu elemen sahaja dalam kodomain. Untuk soalan ni selalunya student dia salah jawab yang kat sini. Dia ingat many to one tak boleh. Many to one still boleh dikira sebagai function. Sebab kita assign 2 to exactly one element which is 4. Kita assign 3 to exactly one element which is also 4. Dia tak cakap dia tak boleh kongsi elemen. So ini still a function. Tahniah. Okay. Ada soalan setakat ini? Berkenaan asas dulu. Kita baru tahu apa tu function. Yang mana korang dah tahu sebenarnya. Bridging course ni lebih kepada nak memantapkan Okay, kita pergi ke case infinite ada ke? Tadi finite senang sangat ini yang tadi kita dah cover sebenarnya. Ni vertical line test nanti dulu. Yang ni kalau gambar rajah baru senang. Cuma saya sekarang ni nak masuk sedikit kalau kita pergi ke dalam case infinite set infinite set kita dah belajar semalam sikit apa tu finite dengan infinite. So kalau saya kata let a set integer two sets, kalau saya nak assign a set of integer to a set of integer, maksudnya domain kita kalau dalam nama mudah kamu boleh anggap dia function ni macam ibarat sesuatu mesin, is a machine that try to transform input into output by a certain process. Ini adalah function dia lah. So function f is like a machine that transform an input from the domain to a codomain, output. Tetapi dia selalunya patut bagi tahu macam mana dia punya mesin tersebut berfungsi. Jadi katakan saya letak fx sama dengan x tambah 1 kuasa 2. Okey. Jadi kalau saya tanya soalan, okey, find f1. So right now 1 will be the input from the valid domain integer. Apakah dia punya output? Yang ni kalau tak tahu jawab, nanya lah. Kesian cikgu korang, lupa apa yang dia belajar. Sebenarnya, kita masuk balik dalam mesin ini, 1 plus 1 squared becomes 2 squared becomes 4. Begitu juga kalau kita try to assign negative 1 kat sini. Dia jadi negative 1 plus 1 squared becomes 0. Squared equals to 0. Lagi satu, find f, bagi saya besar sikit 10. Kamu kira sendiri berapa. Masuk balik dalam x tambah 1, 10 plus 1 squared. Jadilah 11 squared. Jadilah 1 to 1. Okay, I already say 1 to 1 here. There are few characteristics of valid function. Kamu dah sebut tadi many to 1. Dia ada juga case yang mana 1 to 1. Kamu boleh tengok dekat slide belah kiri ni 1 to 1 and many to 1. Ini hanyalah definisi sahaja. Okay. Saya nak tengok ada tak yang onto tu. Tak ada, saya akan cakap onto Alright. We have the first one is 1 to 1. Okay, 1 to 1 is also known as injective. Kita ada juga many to 1 yang saya tak mau tunjuk kat sini. Saya nak perkenalkan konsep onto. Onto also known as surjective. And last one is 1 to 1, nombor 3 1 to 1 and onto. We call this as a bijective function. Okay, kita akan go through one by one, especially onto. 1 to 1 is very literal. Memang straight to the point. So 1 to 1 kalau kamu tengok yang kat kiri ni, saya lukis balik je lah sama je. Nak bagi kamu nampak beza dia. Domain X kepada kodomain Y 1, 2, 3. Dan this one is definite 1 to 1 function. Every element in the domain is assigned uniquely. So this is 1 to 1, definitely. Dan juga onto, by the way tapi saya nak asingkan. So apakah definisi onto? Onto means dalam bahasa mudah dia, all elements in the codomain B is assigned. Tu maksud dia. All elements in the codomain is assigned. So suppose kita tengok yang atas ni, kamu tengok dekat codomain dia. Ni codomain Y. Semua elemen dalam codomain dia assign atau tidak kepada elemen dalam domain?
Yes.
Of course, sebab kita tengok 1 has been assigned, 2 has been assigned, 3 has been assigned. So untuk case yang pertama ni, dia bukan sahaja 1 to 1, dia juga on to. Okay, saya try combine dua konsep ni. Untuk yang B pula, saya lukis yang sama dalam slide di sebelah ni. A, B, C, D 1, 2, 3, 4. Saya lukis betul-betul ikut dia. B kepada 2, C kepada 3, D kepada 3. This one is definitely not 1 to 1. Okay, untuk budak-budak data analitik ni yang belajar di MS dengan saya ni, discrete mathematics kita sentiasa kalau boleh cuba defend dengan justification. You must give the reasoning to your answer because that is very crucial for the proving. Proving, kamu nak provekan dia not 1 to 1. Selalunya dia kena ada argument kamu. What will be your argument here? This is not 1 to 1. Because of what? Can you answer it? At least reason yourself. That's why saya suka tanya benda tu. Sebab memang dia boleh jadi soalan yang valid pun dalam DMS. This is not 1 to 1 because FC sama dengan 3 and FD sama dengan 3. Nampak? Saya berjaya proof kepada kamu bahawa example ini is not one-to-one because there are two elements from the domain is being assigned to the same elements from the codomain. Now, right now, is it onto or not? If you answered the same with me, which is not onto, can you reason yourself why?
Because all the elements in codomain is not being assigned.
Which is what? You cakap yang jawab kepada saya tu, saya tak tahu siapa, saya tak tengok nama. You are correct by the way, because not all. Tapi boleh bagi tahu tak apa yang elemen tak di-assign?
4 is not assigned to any in the domain.
Thank you so much. Because 4, okay, saya tulis bahasa notation matematik. Kalau kita tak ni, tak apa. Saya suka jawapan dia. Dia tak cakap pun notation matematik tadi. Because 4 from the codomain is not assigned with any element. Panjangnya kalau di English kan. From domain. But the answer is correct. The reasoning is very well correct. Dan dia menunjukkan bahawa dia faham konsep onto. So satu markah dekat jawapan, satu markah dekat reason. Kalau you just jawab tanpa reason, ni menunjukkan kamu tembak dan kamu tidak faham mungkin. Kurang faham lah, kurang. Ada juga student, kalau saya, kalau kita nak jawab dengan bahasa notation matematik pun boleh, because fx equals to 4, x is not in the domain. Maksud yang sama. Maksudnya kalau saya tulis kat sini, there exists no x from the domain which assign x to 4 pun boleh. Okay, so beza one to one dengan konsep onto. One to one you assign exactly one element from the domain to exactly, the assignment from elements from the domain is unique to a element from codomain. Okay, keyword dia unique. Kalau one to one, keyword dia unique. Saya tambah kat sini, unique assignment. Onto, tadi saya cakap all element from domain, codomain is assigned. And if you combine the unique assignment and all the elements from codomain is assigned, you get bijective. So untuk contoh A ni, dia dah lah one to one, and also it's onto. It's also one to one and onto, therefore it's also bijective. It is neither for the case of B, which is not onto, and it is also not one to one. So it's neither three of the above here. Okay, kita pergi ke soalan. Okay, ini based on lakaran. Kalau di MS saya tak banyak melakar, tapi nanti Dr. Naim dia akan perkenalkan beberapa bentuk graf. If we try to visualize the diagram into graphs, the function into graphs, you can actually also determine whether it is a function or not. For example, the first one, A, is definitely a function because if you try to read the value of x to y, dia single je. Maksudnya elemen yang x dia assign to exactly one element of y. Untuk kes yang kiri tu, definitely is a cubic function, and cubic function is still a function. But for the B, okay, saya lukislah takut korang tak nampak. Kenapa yang B tu bukannya function? Okay. Okay, saya random lukis ha. Okay. Cuba kalau kamu potong kat sini. Katakan ni adalah 1. Saya potong a vertical line here. So, kalau sini katakan tempat potongan ni adalah 1, ini adalah 2, ni adalah -1, this is -2. Bacaan dia. Okay. Saya lukis ni tak adalah betul-betul ikut scale. Tetapi based on this vertical line test, orang kata kalau kamu potong ni, kamu boleh ingat dia F1 sama dengan 1. Dan F1 juga adalah 2. Oh sudah. F1 pun adalah -1 dan juga F1 adalah -2. So, saya dah assign 1 kepada 4 value terus. So, this is, you know, definitely not a function. You cannot define this as any function dalam satah XY ni. Tetapi A dengan C boleh. Sebab kalau kamu tengok tu betul-betul, each value of X correspond to exactly one value of Y. Okay, more terminologies ya. Tadi kita dah tahu domain, kita dah tahu codomain. Ni saya suka gambar rajah ni. Okay. Function, you must assign all elements from the domain ya. Okay, kita dah tahu domain, codomain. What is a range? Alah. Okay, kepada student saya DMS ke, bridging ke, dan juga technical math dengan bakal student-student saya lain, you don't need to personal WhatsApp me. Saya dah cakap dah kot. Kalau ada masalah dengan internet, saya faham. Saya dah cakap saya faham. So kalau kamu tulis ni pun saya malas nak balas pun. You don't need to apologize. We understand. We understand seriously. Kamu hilang pun saya tak nampak sebenarnya. So don't worry, fokus kepada dalam kuliah ni. Kalau tak ada line, nanti kamu download lah video ni. Ni cabaran dia. Tak perlu nak apologize. Saya pun sebab saya tak marah pun nak bagi maaf kamu payah. Okay, faham Buat lagi saya kata, korang ni memang tak dengar lah apa yang saya cakap selama ni. Oh, by the way, saya bukan macam bos saya lah. Tak datang, kenapa tak datang ni? Saya tak tanya. Jangan takut lah. Yang penting assessment, jawab. Tak jawab, saya bagi kosong dah. Okay, continue back. For the domain and range, range, apakah beza dia dengan codomain? Okay, tadi saya tulis domain, a set of input. Tadi saya tambah keyword input sini. Codomain is a set of output. However, what is actually a range? And how they relate it with a codomain? Saya namakan range ni dengan bahasa yang mudah ialah set of actual output. Dalam bahasa function kadang-kadang diguna dia sebagai image. Kalau input kita tulis pre-image. Okay, so dalam gambar rajah kiri ni mudah nak tengok bahawa untuk function ini semua domain dia adalah ABCD, codomain dia sampai 1 sampai 6. Tetapi range dia hanyalah yang di-assign sahaja. Yang assignment saja. So kenapa saya tulis actual ni macam ibarat dia set of assigned. Okay, kalau tak suka guna actual, you can use set of assigned image. Codomain, dalam codomain tak semestinya semua element of output must be assigned. But for the range, ialah memang output yang di-assigned. Itu saja beza dia. Okay, kita dah ada terminologi kat sini. Let's go for the actual answer. Actual question. Okay, macam ni. If I try to assign a domain integer to a domain integer as well. Tak boleh, besar sangat. Besar sangat. Tak boleh, tak boleh. Saya kena bagi kecil sikit. Okay, let A, sebab korang dah belajar set kan. So saya boleh dah tunjuk macam ni. A is assigned from X. X is a positive integer and X is less than 5. Okay, sonok sikit. B is an element of X. Saya Y lah, Y. Tak nak bagi sama. Y is a positive integer. Y is smaller than or equal to 20. Okay. Okay, dua set. Finite set. FA is defined to be, is assigned from domain A to codomain B such that F X equals to X squared. My question will be, find the range. Okay lah, satu-satu lah. Find codomain. I want you to list down the domain in a roster form, B codomain, and C the range. Siapa dah jawab, bunyikan mic anda. Saya tak semak chat lagi. Faham A tu betul-betul, domain dia apa, B tu apa, function dia adalah X squared. Senang je. Tapi saya nak tahu domain dia, korang berjaya tak tulis apa, senang juga codomain, tapi yang paling penting saya nak tengok siapa yang dapat jawab range. Kenapa stuck ni? Korang dengar suara saya ni?
Dengar.
Kena kamera, muka saya tak bergerak Muka saya bergerak?
Tak.
Tak gerak.
Alamak, kamera saya stuck. Okey, tak apa, jawab soalan dulu. Ada orang rupanya. So jawab, apakah dia range untuk soalan ini ni boga. Alright. Thank you Kirin Adriana Karuzaman dengan Lok Jiajin. Range is 14916. Jawab ikut chat, nasib baik saya buka chat. Thank you. Jangan lupa untuk Kirin Adriana dengan Lok Jiajin juga menghabiskan dengan domain dan kodomain, tetapi why range is much more important? Because if you manage to answer the range, saya guarantee you boleh jawab domain dan kodomain. Okay. I think your answer is correct by the way, tapi saya nak semak juga. Okay, menggunakan asas set, you should be able to transform first to make your life easier. The domain in the form of roster notation. Yesterday we already just learned this. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Dan kodomain pula banyak. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This will be the codomain, the set of all possible output, and the range you masuklah daripada domain ni, you assign domain ni, buatlah F1 sama dengan 1 kuasa 2 sama dengan 1. F2, 2 kuasa 2 sama dengan 4. Ni apa yang kawan kamu jawab tadi dengan yang lain-lain cuba jawab. F3 is 3 squared 9 and F4 dengan 4 squared 16. 1, 4, 9, 16. Tahniah. Tapi kalau lebih baik dalam nanti kalau kamu tulis tu, make sure you have dalam set, jangan lupa tulis curly bracket ni ya. Tapi saya tahu kamu type susah sikit kot. Jadi if you want to represent something into set, make sure in the curly bracket. Reminder to you all. Okay, finish about the range ya. Ada tak fundamental yang kita tak ni lagi? Alright, I think find the domain and range for the following function. Domain. Oh Allah, ada jawapan dah. Cuba tengok yang semua ada jawapan. Macam mana Kita boleh verify juga sebenarnya. Saya bagi masa kamu untuk verify adakah ini jawapan yang benar. For this one. Okay, ambil masa sekejap, try to verify whether you can actually get that answer. Jangan kata ada jawapan je, kamu rasa jawapan tu betul. Kamu kena buktikan bahawa jawapan tu betul dengan cuba buat balik, masukkan dalam domain, keluar tak range dia tu antara itu sampai itu. Ini dia main dengan bukannya set of possible integer, ni semua termasuk real number, maka termasuklah orang kata nombor-nombor fraction. Ni saya tak discuss dululah. Boleh saya nak discuss tapi saya takut masa tak sempat. Banyak lagi kita nak cover ni. Saya rasa time Dr. Naim pun panjang juga nanti. Sebab dia kena melakar. Dia kena melakar. Lakar dia ambil masa. So saya cuba yang simple-simple ni saya cepat sikit je. Okay, 1 minute lah, 1 minute. Cuba buat But we don't discuss it. Okay. Should we proceed? Okay. In set, you have an union, you ada intersection. Operation memang wujud. Arithmetic operation. Function pun ada operationnya. Pengiraan dia. But however, the operation I think is not that really that hard. Dia hanyalah sum, difference, product, darab dengan quotient. So for example, if I define my example like this, f z to z and g, I have two functions right now. G, I assign z to z as well, such that x, this will be minus 5, this one will be 2x squared. Okay. F adalah x, tak cantik korang tak nampak ni. Fx equals to x minus 5, gx is 2x squared. Okay. Alright. If you need to find the sum of fx plus gx, you just add up x minus 5 plus 2x squared. It becomes 2x squared plus x minus 5. Tambah je. Tapi tambah pun kena hati-hati if you have a negative. Tolak-tolak tambah tu lah. Bracket tu membantu kamu. Make sure you have a bracket. It's a good practice. This is for the sum. If a difference, difference pula is not symmetrical, so x minus 5 minus 2x squared. Jadilah negative 2x squared plus x minus 5. Also simple. You just minus, make sure your algebra is strong there. Ni kalau tolak. And for the product, fx times gx, this is dot product, saya tulis dot ni. Ambillah x tolak 5 darab 2x kuasa 2. Jadi 2x kuasa 3 tolak 10x kuasa 2. Okay. Ni kalau produk. Quotient bahagilah. Jadi x tolak 5 per 2x kuasa 2. Quotient. This is 4 operations that being associated with function. Ada sum, different, product dan juga quotient. Yang ni yang mudah. Ada satu lagi operation yang penting nanti. Yang ni saya tak nak pergi sangat lebih lanjut kerana algebra sepatutnya bio level you kena mahir dah. Mungkin saya kalau nak spin sikit pun boleh saya tanya macam ni lah. Find for the same particular fx, find f f gx. F darab G 5. Saya letak elemen FG 5. 5 sebagai input of F darab G kat sini. So for this particular example, you need to know what will be your product. The product is given as this. Kamu masuklah X sama dengan 5 kuasa 3 tolak 10, 5 kuasa 2. Mudah je. Masuklah dalam kalkulator 55, 25 kali 5, 125 kali 2, 250 tolak 25 kali 10. Kosong. Okey. Inilah saya boleh tanya kalau nak soalan direct macam ni lah. Sebab kamu patut tahu masuk function dah, kamu tahu saya menguji kelebihan kamu untuk buat product of the function. Masuk nilai, inilah penyelesaian dia. Sangat mudah. Okey, ada soalan berkenaan operation of function ni? Kalau ada, sila bertanya. Dan kalau diam, maksudnya tiada masalah lah, saya harap. Okay, I want to go to a more challenging operation. Yang ni sebab dia main dengan quotient je apa, saya relax dulu. Yang ni yang penting. Strictly penting sebab dalam DMS saya akan fokus kepada composite and inverse function. Okay, I will start first with on the thing that confuse the students most of the time is the notation between composite and product. Tadi baru je kita belajar product. Product dot X. This is product. Of functions. This is also an operation as well sebenarnya. Composite Composite dia F bulat ni. Ini composite. Sangat beza ya. Titik dengan titik donat ni. Saya tak tahu nak bagi titik benda. Okay. Composite is not the same with product. Product kamu darab sahaja. Tetapi composite gabungan, gubahan kalau tak silap saya. Kalau kamu guna term dalam bahasa Melayu buku teks dulu. Function apa? Fungsi gubahan. Composite function. For the case of composite function, FGX. Normally X becomes the input to F if the case of Fx. But for F composite G, this time the input will be the whole function of G. Ni compare. Kalau Fx, inilah Fx. tak ada cara dah. Tapi sekarang ni bayangkan Gx ni becomes the whole input. Okay, itulah konsep fungsi gubahan atau composite function. Okay, note kat situ dia tulis, note that Gfx is not similar to Fgx. Sebenarnya dia boleh ya. Tapi saya hold dulu, tunjuk keadaan yang mana ada satu saja keadaan. There is only one condition when Gfx can be equal to Fgx. But let's save that for a while first. Kita nak pergi ke konsep balik. Okay, saya akan mula melakar. Sekarang ni kita ada dua function. We have three sets. Namely A, B, and C. I would like to represent to you guys what is F composite GX and in terms of the visualization. Okay. A assigned to B, assume that this is GX, and from B to C is FX. A to B is defined as GX, B to C is defined as FX. So if we try to composite G and F, A directly to C, then this will be F, G, X. Nampak kat sini, GX ni menjadi input kepada F. Okay, the whole conversion of GX becomes the next input to FX. So how to represent a composite function jika diberi nilai? Mari kita tengok how to solve this. Ni bagus, tak ada solution. I have fx is 3x minus 2. Gx sama dengan x squared plus 1. Dan dia ada tambah lagi hx sama dengan negative 2x. We start with the fundamental question, find f composite g x. Okay, for the case of fx is 3x minus 2. Look here. And how about if the whole gx becomes the input for f? Jadilah 3 gx tolak 2. Apakah gx? Tak habis lagi. Gx ialah 3, gx ialah x kuasa 2 tambah 1 tolak 2. Becomes 3x squared plus 1 minus 2. You boleh mudahkan menjadi 3x squared plus 3 minus 2 becomes 3x squared plus 1. This will be the composite of f and g. Can you try to find to me what is gfx, please? Saya tunggu jawapan. This time, the fx becomes the input to g, and I already show you how to find it. Can you tell me the answer? Saya nak lock jawapan anda. Cuba cari jap. Saya buka lah chat dan dia ada pula yang nak jawab ikut chat. Tapi tak nampak soalan kan? Okay, saya tutup solution saya. I want to know the answer to B, please. Okay, Sarah Batrisha menjawab kat sini. Saya tulis, saya lock jawapan dia dulu. Apa ni? Arisa Afilah menjawab yang jawapan yang sama. 9x kuasa 2 tolak 12x tambah 5. Okay, dua orang dah menjawab. Saya cuba cek jawapan. Thank you Arisha dengan Arisa. Bukan adik-adik kan? Okay. Mereka menjawab, okay, they give the answer which is 9x squared minus 12x plus 5. Okay, let me check whether they are correct. I hope they are correct. I hope memang betul dah kot ni kan. G berapa? G ialah X kuasa 2 tambah 1. So if Fx becomes the input, it means that Fx, the whole Fx will be squared plus 1. So Fx is 3x minus 2 squared plus 1 becomes 9x squared minus 4 times negative 12x plus 4 and you plus 1 becomes this one. Great. Super. Dan splendid. Betul. Belaka. Okay. Tahniah. Kita teruskan. Ini saya tolong tunjuk dulu. For the case of C, it involves the composite of 2 times of X. But don't worry, settle this one by one. First of all, if we want to represent this, it means the whole G composite H becomes the input for F. And for the case of GH, the H becomes the composite of G, becomes the input of G. So, kalau saya akan buat satu-satu dulu. Okay. It means I would try to solve what is GH first. And GH jadilah HX kat situ. Masuklah the whole HX becomes the input for G, becomes negative 2x squared plus 1. Okay, cross check with my workings by the way. Jadilah 4x kuasa 2 tambah 1. Double check. Negative 2x jadi 4x squared plus 1. Okay. Dan siaplah G composite HX. Sekarang ni saya nak masukkan G composite H ni jadi input kepada F. Alright. Jadi what is F? F is 3x minus 2. Jadi saya letaklah ni G panjang sikit lah tapi don't worry. 3x minus 2. And because G composite H becomes the input, letaklah 4x kuasa 2 tambah 1 tolak 2. Jadilah 12x squared plus 3 minus 2 becomes 12x squared plus 1. Okay, I double check GH my answer. GH H squared negative 2 to 4x squared plus 1 and 3 for x plus 1 minus 2 becomes 12x plus 3 plus minus 2. Okay, so I hope that my answer is correct. You cross check with my answer. If you manage to find any mistake, you can voice it out, no problem. But I suppose this will be the answer. And why not kita skip D senang je. Saya nak kamu jawab Hogoh. E. Find Hogoh. H composite G composite H. Dan yang ni saya nak tahu jawapan, tapi saya tak mau check jawapan tu, boleh? Saya nak tahu jawapan je. Jadi untuk kawan-kawan lain, verify kawan kamu punya jawapan tu betul. So saya tunggu jawapan. Harapnya bukan daripada Arisha, Arisa dan Sarah. Oh, Sarah pun jawab. Okay, can you find E for me? Saya nak tahu jawapan je, saya tulis jawapan tu. Atau kawan kamu tulis jawapan tu. Sebab saya baru tunjuk kamu cara untuk cari fogoh, kamu cari hogoh. Alright, Aminuddin menjawab dan Nur Maisyuhara menjawab. Saya tulis jawapan mereka. Thank you for participating. The answer for H composite G composite H will be negative 8x squared minus 2. Dan setakat ni dua orang telah menjawab jawapan yang sama. Saya harap jawapannya betul. Macam saya cakap, saya tak check sekarang. Saya nak yang kawan-kawan kamu yang 30 orang yang lain try to verify this will be correct. Aida Izzati pun cakap sama. Okay, very good. Very good. Okay, should we take a quick break sekejap je. Sebab saya nak ke toilet kot. Bukan kot, memang ya. For 2 minutes before we go back, continue back on the inverse function. So, korang yang lain nak pergi cuci muka, toilet, buat air, makan atau nak pergi tidur 2 minit, pergi. Okay? Jumpa 2 minit. Okay, I'm back. Okay, if this is a face-to-face class, saya sebenarnya suka relate sebab ada masa kalau ada kelas. Function memang banyak di dunia ni sebenarnya. Function mana muka saya tak nampak muka. Okay. Right now, what is the popular function that has been talked about almost every day? Function apa yang hari-hari orang cakap? Orang tunjuk dekat TV. Sebab korang selalu kata tak nampak matematik. Sebenarnya function banyak. Hari-hari korang guna function. Tetapi you don't really, maybe you don't appreciate it so much because the people don't say that is a function. Okay, tiap-tiap hari orang cakap pasal kata new cases of COVID. And then by using the function of the new cases of COVID, of the growth of the COVID, the number of people who are infected, they try to predict the projection of the disease. Tetapi function COVID ni dia susah. Dia almost exponential, tetapi kadang-kadang dia ada ups and downs. So saya tunjuklah contoh hari tu kat Malaysia, kecil, tiba-tiba naik kluster tabligh, lepas tu lama-lama turun. Okay, lama-lama turun. Lepas tu tiba-tiba kita punya apa tu, ada pilihan raya Sabah, naik balik, turun, naik balik. So ini adalah function sebenarnya yang susah untuk kita interpolate. Kita boleh, tapi kamu tak belajar lah kan. Kita boleh interpolate dia punya projection dia menggunakan kaedah statistik and so on. If you try to do this, dia dalam projection menaik atau mungkin mula menurun. Menarik benda ni. Tetapi untuk composite function, saya ajar kat student saya, senior-senior kamu dan juga bukan senior kamu, ialah composite function. Okay. Ni sebelum saya masuk kepada inverse . Okay. Katakan F saya represent real number to a real number and G also tak boleh. Ni kena real number to real number, positif. Real number ni termasuk fraction saja. Apakah function GST? Korang tahu tak GST lagi kan? Sekarang ni tak tahu ada ke tak atau nak ada balik. So at that time saya cakap lah kat student kalau saya tanya, kalau barang if PS5 price is RM berapa 1899, what will be the PS5 price plus GST? Sebenarnya GST is a function juga. Dan katakan kalau saya wakilkan fx tadi sebagai fx harga, katakan x is the price and the GST will be 0.06, and if you define x as the final price plus GST, so it will be x plus 0.06x becomes 1.06x. Okay, so korang boleh carilah kalau kamu letak x equal to 1899 campur tax GST. Sekarang tak ada lah kot, saya pun malas nak peduli lah kerajaan. Okay, kalau GX, kalau you pergi makan restoran, dia ada service tax, tax lagi. Kalau service tax, kita jadi tambah 0.10% X. So kalau saya letak X, GX 0.10, berapa lah service tax kalau makan kat restoran tu? Katakan 0.1 lah X. Jadi 1.1X. So saya saja letak kat sini, katakan kalau beli barang, tak adalah service tax. Tetapi kalau you pergi restoran, if the total bill apa tu? The total bill bukan total bill. If you eat food worth of 10 ringgit at Pizza Hut, what will be the price? What will be the total that you pay? So kat sini saya pernah tanya soalan ni sebenarnya, GST plus service tax. Berapa yang dia kena bayar? So benda ni again boleh diwakilkan ke dalam function. Saya takkan solve lah. Saya boleh sebab saya tak check whether the representation of the above is correct. But the idea is that you can model many situation, everyday situation kat sekeliling kita boleh dimodelkan sebagai function. Even markah kamu orang pun, total mark untuk exam ke quiz pun boleh diwakilkan sebagai function. Dan sebagai bakal data scientist, as a future data scientist, you must know how to utilize function. Dalam programming banyak function. Kalau you tak faham asas function, susah. So nak asas faham function, you mesti faham set. Set membawa kepada function, membawa kepada relation. You must try to link the variables. Variables A and variables B has some sort of relationship which can be defined as a function. Function ada banyak. It can be linear, it can be quadratic, cubic. Lepas ni Dr. Naim akan sambung lah. Okay. So data-data boleh diwakilkan ke dalam bentuk itu. Okay, saya membebel. Okay, it's almost 10:30. I can manage to finish this within 10 minutes, which is about the inverse function. Okay, inverse function. Let fx, the input, becomes the output y. Okay, so the relationship between x and y, x the input, y is the output. So what will be the inverse of y? You get back x. Contoh, let f be defined from integer to integer such that fx equals to x minus 5. Kalau saya tanya find f10, oh ini semua senyum. Senang je ni. So jawapan dia mestilah 5. Okay. Inverse function, kalau saya tanya fx sama dengan 25. Berapakah x? So dalam case ni, you move from the y, you know the y. Yang the first one, you don't know the y, you know x becomes y. This one, you know the y, you try to find x. So, nak menukarkan 25 kepada x ini ialah by the concept of inverse function, you can know the value of x. Itu je. So, kalau kita letak dalam diagram, okay, A, B, if I assigned this by the concept of x minus 5, if 10 becomes 5 here, for the case of fx, the inverse function is the function that get 5 to 10 back. Saya padam ya. Okay, so how to find the inverse function? That is the skill that you need to revitalize back. Okay, it only exists for one-to-one function. There's a reason why. Saya tunjuk dulu kenapa dia hanya untuk one-to-one function. Kita ada buat example ni tadi. 1, 2, 3, 1, 4, 9, 16. Tadi kita ada buat. Okay. 1 to 1, 2 to 4, 3 to 9. For this particular visualization, this is a one-to-one function. Kerana F1 sama dengan 1. F2 sama dengan 4 dan juga F3 sama dengan 9. This is case for F. Kalau inverse function, the direction is reverse. F inverse 1 dapat balik 1. F inverse 4 dapat balik 2 dan F inverse 9 dapat balik 3. So kalau dia dalam case 1 to 1, dia kalau dia terbalik, dia mesti function juga. Maksudnya, the assignment from the domain, codomain right now must be exactly to one element to the codomain. This time A become the codomain. The idea is like that. So what happens if it is not one to one? Macam ni. Simple. 2, negative 2. And the function is defined as x squared. Okay. So jelas ini jawapan dia 4. Bayangkan kalau saya assign 2 to 4, 2, negative 2 also to 4. Inverse function dia terbalik arah. Tapi apakah inverse function dia? This is definitely again not one to one. Cuba saya visualize kalau F kat sini, F2 becomes 4 and negative 2 becomes 4. What is F inverse 4? You will get 2 and at the same time negative 2. So this is wrong. Something wrong. Because function dia tak boleh kepada dua nilai. Sekarang ni kalau you terbalik arah, dia dah jadi dua nilai. So ini bukannya not a function at all. So that is a very easy counter example to show to you that if the function is not one to one, hence there does not exist inverse. The inverse function only exists for one to one. This is a very simple counter example. And please do note that, and because of saya tahu dalam case ni saya kena tulis juga, F inverse X is not similar with 1 over Fx. Dia jadi case macam, kalau orang ingat ni, X kuasa negatif 1 sama dengan 1 per X. Ini betul. This one tak sama Don't make it the same. The function is function. This is a simple algebra punya operation. Okay, suppose you have a one-to-one function here, and how you solve for y. Okay. We try to solve this. Find the inverse for the following. Fx equals to 3x plus 2. Let Fx equals to y, therefore F inverse y becomes equals to x. This is the fundamental part. So, kita jadikan 3x plus 2 sama dengan y. Okay, you need to find x. And x will be y minus 2 over 3. And as F inverse Y sama dengan X, maka F inverse Y sama dengan Y minus 2 over 3. Okay, as this is in the term of Y, in the terms of X is X minus 2 over 3. Ni saya tunjuk memang step by step habis, detail. Asas dia ialah you let, saya tengok step yang Nadam Fatihah letak ni, replace fx with y. Saya dah buat. Interchange x and y to give fy. Saya solve for y. Dapatlah f inverse y, kita sama dengan x. So dalam sebutan ni x tolak 2 per 3. Okay. Saya ada cara untuk kita check untuk setengah student yang kurang mahir, dan saya pun dulu kurang mahir. Kita try to check, although this is not compulsory, I like to check whether my function here is correct, at least for one value. Okay, this is what I meant. Cuba saya letak F1. Okay, F1 buat apa? Sama dengan 5. So kalau inverse function saya betul, if my inverse function is correct, I should transform F inverse 5, you will get back 1. Okay, so saya cuba apply kat sini. F inverse 5 sama dengan 5 tolak 2 per 3, you get 3 over 3, you get back 1. So for this example, at least for F1, I get 5, my inverse managed to get back 1. So I assume for this simple checking that this will be the correct answer. Ini cara saya check. Walaupun ini bukannya complete proof, proof tak boleh untuk satu example je, tapi at least boleh lah untuk bagi check cepat. Okay, can you find the next one? If fx equals to square root x minus 2, what will be the inverse? Can you tell me? For B, cuba jawab. Y. Amin dia menjawab Y. Okay. Asal Y? Dia must be in the form of X. Dalam sebutan X, Arif Anwar. Ini sebab kita tanya F inverse X, tulis balik dalam X. Jadi dia diam dia. Dalam sebutan X. Thank you. X squared plus 2. Okay, Sri Vira Siva Tachayani Vesvanatan. F inverse ialah, okay, I like jawapan dia tulis lengkap. Saya sukalah. Nampaklah. F inverse X is X squared plus 2. Let me check for Y. Right. It's normal for you to let, okay, ni saya dah skip step lah sebab saya tak perlu tunjuk dia punya fundamental balik. So x minus 2 is y squared, x sama dengan y squared plus 2. Ini dalam sebutan y, so kalau dalam sebutan x is x squared plus 2. Thank you. Very easy, right? Kalau nak tunjuk detail, boleh. Tapi saya tunjuk macam ni lah. Let fx equals to y. So if f inverse y sama dengan x. Ni yang kamu buat. Dapatlah x sama dengan y kuasa 2 tambah 2. F inverse y sama dengan x, which is y squared plus 2. Maka f inverse x sama dengan x squared plus 2. Tahniah. Semua yang bagi jawapan tu adalah betul. So it's just a simple linear equation solution, right? Okay. Yang ni teruskan sekejap. Sebelum saya tamatkan sesi saya nak kamu combine benda ni. Nanti kita akan ada short assessment tapi saya nak kamu jawab ni, boleh tak? D, G, composite H inverse X. Okay, given that I have a function of f, ni soalan ni ada 3, di combine lah. Fx sama dengan 1/2x. Gx sama dengan x minus 3 and also hx. Alamak, kali kecil. Saya tulis balik. Okay, fx sama dengan 1/2x. Gx sama dengan x minus 3 and hx sama dengan 4 minus 3x. Okay, ini dia punya parameter. Cukup untuk saya tengok sama ada student saya faham ke tak, ialah GH inverse X, please. Cuba cari. Sama juga cara kita buat satu je, yang lain sebagai homework yang kamu boleh sebagai letter tambahan. Alright, cuba cari the composite of G inverse, the inverse of composite GH. Kalau kamu boleh jawab ni, it means that you totally understand on the methods of composite and also the methods of inverse combined. Bagus kalau dapat jawab. Bagus Arif. Nanti saya lock jawapan awak Arif. Jawapan Arif ialah 1 tolak x/3. Okay, let's wait for your friend's answer whether they are the same with you. Hodohnya tulisan. Beres. Okay, kita tunggu kawan yang lain. Adakah dia orang akan dapat jawapan yang sama? Okey, Sri Vira, kita Cayani lah. 1 tolak x/3 juga sama dengan Arif. Okey, kita tengok ada lagi seorang tak sama atau tak sama. Jangan ingat tak sama, dia orang ni confirm betul. Maybe dia okey, Arisha pun sama, 1 minus x/3. Okay, let me try to be skeptical here. I'm assuming that this might not be the answer, so I need to check. Okay, mari saya check. Saya cuba buat. Okay, for this particular example, you must find the composite first, right? Then you can find the inverse. So, GHX saya menjadikan HX sebagai input. Jadi HX minus 3. So 4 minus 3x minus 3 becomes 1 minus 3x. Settled for the composite. Okay. GH X sama dengan Y. So G inverse Y sama dengan X. Ni tak payah buat pun tak apa ya. Tapi saja saya nak buat. 1 tolak 3X sama dengan Y. Maka 3X sama dengan 1 tolak Y. Dan X sama dengan, betul ke ni? 1 tolak Y per 3. Jadi kalau ikutkan pengiraan saya yang saya tak semak lagi, GH inverse X equals to 1 minus X over 3. Salah ke jawapan saya? Dia beza tau. Arisha yang mana? Sama dengan yang mana? Sama dengan saya dengan Arif yang latest ke?
Sama dengan Sir.
Oh, okey. Maksudnya, okey. Hati-hati ya sebab bila saya baca, okey. Kira
Tak letak bracket.
tak letak bracket. Okey. Very good. I'm glad yang tu. Kalau kamu tulis ini, dia tak letak sama. Okey, yang ni tak sama. Tapi sebab kamu kata sama dengan yang actual saya, so yang ni betul. Okey, thank you Balkis also, Tacha dan siapa-siapa ramai kat sini. Saya double check juga. Saya baru first time kira, saya nak akan double kira. HX minus 3, sekejap je saya check. Okay, 4 minus 3x minus 3 again. Jadi 4 minus 3, 1 minus 3, okay. 1 is y, y, 1 tolak y per 3. Okay, saya rasa memang saya betul dan kamu pun dah verify saya betul. So tulis balik elok. Sebenarnya bukan yang ini, kita tukar kepada 1 minus x per 3. Atau 1 per 3 tolak x per 3. Sama lah kalau macam ni pun. Okay. Alright. I think that's all for the inverse. Let me check. Okay, nanti Dr. Naim akan take over. Ada 8 bentuk asas function. Ni penting untuk graphing. Okay. So saya tamat dulu bahagian saya. Nanti kita tunggu Dr. Naim settle, kita akan bagi short assessment. Alright. So ada apa-apa soalan sebelum kita tukar muka? Okay, 1 minute. Only 1 minute. If you have any question regarding the previous content. Okay. If no, I will stop for a while. I will pause and we go to Dr. Naim. Thank you.
Hello. Oh, ada echo.
Kau buka dengan handphone kan, Im?
Hello.
Okay,
Hear
clear.
my voice. Ada echo tak?
Tak ada.
Tak ada. Hello. Test, test.
Tak ada. Ikut kat taman tas.
Okay, okay. Right, before that, ada.
Ah,
Could you please stop sharing your screen?
okay.
Thank you. You can see me. Okay, it's me. Right, so Assalamualaikum and good morning everyone. Okay, so thanks to Dr. Adam for the session. And for my session, actually we do have only 1 hour. I think we just go through quickly because we got about 8 graphs to cover. And I put that sempat nak buat revision properly. But I hope you guys do have a good what we call basic knowledge regarding this kind of graph. Okay, and then I want you to see the difference between what you have done from Dr. Adam and what you're going to do with me, and then try to use that kind of knowledge to this kind of plotting the graph. Okay, I will moving for some other part to the other part. So I rasa sometime mungkin I akan apa dia panggil turn off my camera for after this. Okay, good. So before that, let me share my screen first. This one. Or do you need some rest? A few minutes? You nak rest ke? You may do unmute your microphone.
Tak apa.
Tak apa. It's okay. Nak habis awal kan? Wait, okay. Alright, after this I will share with you the attendance. Cumanya I try to find out your details. Okay. Okay, for this one. This one. Yeah. Which one? This one. Oh, from here. Oh, I closed already the slide. Wait, This one. Okay. Alright, so can you see my screen? Boleh nampak ke?
Boleh.
Boleh. Okay, let me try to use some kind of Kenapa tak punya tab? Alamak. Wait Short event sections. Right. Okay, I cannot share my screen from my tab. Okay, actually I got a technical problem. I cannot share my screen from my tab. Susah lah nak lukis. Okay, so you have to draw for me. You have to plot some graph for me. Some graph for me. Susah. I gonna do laptop ni susah. Right. Tapi it's okay. So you can see this kind of notes, and then you do have your own, right? Okay. Right. So for these subtopics, all right, 6.4, no, not 6.4, the graph of a function. So you have covered 4 functions, all right? So actually for this kind of bridging course, we are not specifically cover what kind of topic, and then you do have assessment, specific assessment, and then for your, it's not including in your result. You don't have to worry. You just to do some recaps and then do intensive for your knowledge of mathematics. Okay, for graph of functions, so we do cover for constant function, constant graph, a linear, absolute value, and then quadratic. You guys are familiar with this. These two are linear and quadratic actually. Absolute value as well. And then we do have a cubic. Cubic pun you biasa, right? Power of 3, right? And then some rational, exponential, and logarithmic. Okay, kita just go through, do just some recap. Okay, okay. In function, actually, there are 2 methods to find the domain and range in your function. So, what you have done from Dr. Adam, actually, you are doing by using algebraic approach or methods. You try to find out the elements based on the function, based on the domain given, right? Kalau you tengok sini, you can see here, given this kind of function, and then given this kind of domain, and then what you need to do, we are going to find out our range from this kind of function given. Okay, clearly ini yang you buat. It doesn't matter composite, inverse, itu that can we refer to some operation involved dalam tu. Okay, and then for solution, kita nak dapat this kind of range we set up by our own numerically. You set up from 1, 2, 3, 4, or 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. You stop at this one lah. You may do deal with the decimal places, for example, for function 0.3 for x here, kita akan find out the value for your range here. Cumanya when you are trying to visualize in graphical punya representation, we cannot find out or use this kind of this one untuk dapatkan the element, each element, susah. So normally we represent in range. Tadi Dr. Adam, if you still remember, Dr. Adam mentioned range can be in element. For curly bracket tu kan, curly bracket we represent element each of them. For range from this value to the other value. For example, from -1 until 8. And then you need to differentiate as well. Close bracket and open bracket. Actually for your final answer, you kena tahu 0 and then open bracket here represent including 0. I tahu you familiar with this one, right? And then for open bracket tu macam mana, which means does not include for that kind of value lah. Okay, another representation or approach to find out domain and range, kita pakai graphical approach. So this is the relationship between the previous session from with Dr. Adam and this session lah. Okay, so kita pakai graphical approach. So this one is very important for you for modeling. Even if you do read a lot of articles ataupun journals regarding data science, this one is compulsory skill. You need to know how to visualize your result. Nah, this one you need to use advanced tools. For example, this kind of COVID kan, it's not simply you boleh guna Excel apa semua. Yes, you can. Cumanya sometimes some data cannot represent, we cannot do represent in that kind of low level punya tools. You can pergi in advance. Okay, so but basic you have to know what is or what are behind this kind of graph. You tengok dia punya this one curve graph ataupun straight line graph, macam mana dia tengok time series graph, and then so on lah. Okay, so basically what you have to know, domain and range. Domain and range will refer to, okay, normally graph we represent on Cartesian plane. You tahu kan Cartesian, this one in Cartesian plane. We only have a two panggil apa tu? Not axis. Yeah, two axis ataupun two data only. Right? If you have a more, for example, you do have a more, for example, X, Y, and Z, ada biasa. If you go for apa nama dia panggil? Dia tak masuk lagi kot. Calculus. If you go calculus and then for integration, sorry. Integration, you have a three values, three unknowns, X, Y, and Z. So normally we represent on surface, kita panggil surface. This one on graph. Surface lain, dia nampak macam 3D. If you, those who familiar with MATLAB, itu surface. Dia ada dapat macam 3D sikit. If you do have 3 or more factors in your graph. Okay, ini 2D. 2D is tenang tengok X associate with Y, for example. So Y depend on X, for example. Okay, so domain here, as you can see from this kind of graph, we refer to quadratic, right? Simple quadratic, X squared quadratic. And then domain R will refer to real numbers. So start from real number, any real numbers until real numbers. And then for range, domain we refer to X, correct? Betul lah, you buat correct. Okay, and then for range, you have to try to visualize from what you have done from Dr. Adam. Kan you ada macam set function, range, domain and range. So now you try to convert into graphical punya representation. So you akan nampak, oh macam ni rupanya. Okay, cumanya normally for range here, memang kita akan pakai range. We're not going to, mungkin akan pakai for element. Element tu sometimes je. Kalau data constant, element. Macam for this one, range 2 until infinity. So going up until there. Boleh. Infinity ni biasa kita put open bracket. Kita tak tahu dia stop at what. Alright. So we go to our first function graph, a constant function, and this one more familiar. Alright. So this is a general representation for constant function for fx equal to k. Normally in mathematics we represent constant as k. This one kalau you pergi mana-mana European punya notation, cara penulisan dia pakai k, constant. Germany dia k, that's why dia pakai k. If you go to macam Chinese punya Asian kita, Chinese, Taiwan representation dia mungkin lain. So don't be surprised kalau dia punya constant you represent with the different representation, don't be surprised. Macam if you go to statistics, they are going to use alpha. So don't be surprised. Itu cara penulisan. Okay, and then look at the example here. We do have a two example here, right? Fx equal to 2. So if there is no unknown cover for this kind of x kan dalam domain ni, so dia akan jadi constant flat like call it flat. There is no curve, there is no gradient involved in your graph. Akan panggil flat function. This one constant flat. Dia memang takkan bertemu for x and y, which is what we can say there is no relationship between x and y. Tak ada. Kalau x ni increase, so y nothing for your function, nothing relate. Dia takkan increase macam mana pun. Right? Okay, so the way you find your domain and range are sebab you start from any real number, and then for range look at, okay, now our range here represent in what? In element punya representation. You takkan buat for range sebab dia memang stop kat sini. there is no starting point, there is no end point. For range, kita cover interval punya representation. You tahu interval kan? Kita ada the minimum one. Wah, susah lah nak tulis ini. You okay kan? Why not? I go to PC. Right. So your A, B, sorry, so A we refer to minimum one, B we refer to maximum one. This one element dia dekat situ sahaja. This one is not a starting point, this one is not the ending point. So the element. Okay, and now for the next one, any value for negative value. So negative value, this is your center point, 0, 0 coordinate or to element negative 1/3. Okay, any direction. Okay, we go to the linear function. So linear, I know you guys from form 4 lagi dah exposed for this kind of function, very popular function. Ax plus b, right? If you go to physics, kita ada mx plus c, right? Linear function mx plus c. Okay, so A we do represent for gradient function. Kalau A ni getting bigger, so your gradient is getting, kata apa, kecerunan tu lagi tinggi. Okay, Ax plus B, B refer to the y-axis ataupun function axis. The intercept, sorry, intercept. Right? Okay, we go to the example. Function for x, 2x plus 1. And then dia bagi pula dia punya apa nama ni? Condition. So x must be lesser or equal to 2. Right? So to find out our domain and range, kita ada stopping point. Domain, kalau lesser than 2, start from where? Somewhere. Domain for x, right? Somewhere you stop at 2. Susah tu lah, I nak nulis ni. So domain sini, sini you start from here, you stop at 2. Okay, and then close bracket because 2 is involved. For range daripada mana? Daripada bawah ni, negative infinity, then you stop at 5 here. Kalau you masuk 2 here, 2, 4 plus 1, 5, you stop here. Okay, this one is simple. Okay, to see either this one is going up or going down punya linear function, right? So you can look at the punya positive or negative sign in front of this kind of A. And kalau A dia positive, you tahu dia going up. Kalau negative, dia going down. Right? Okay, can you do try for me? Tapi macam mana nak tunjuk you the answer? Yeah. Boleh? Sorry, I punya tab je got some problem. Technical sekali, tak tahu ada setup dia. Okay, so I want you to try for C. You go for C only, and then I will call someone to share his or her screen. The answer. Boleh? Boleh tak? Okay, you may do respond from me. Even you plan to interrupt pun tak ada masalah. Okay, try to come up with this kind of graph first, and then state the domain and range. To be follow the question. Soalan minta you plot the graph, simple graph, and then domain and range. You may refer to this one. Okay, quick. C only. The rest you may do by your own at your home. Okay, try this one first. I'll give you 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, tak?
Okay.
Okay, good. You may do start right now. I try to draw from here. Whiteboard. this. Oh, not a new one. Okay, for your information, I'm staying with my kids. Mungkin akan ada gangguan di sini. Kalau ada noise tu sorry. Okay, oh this one I'm trying. Salah susahnya nak draw kat sini. Salah, I punya PC laptop ni tak ada ni. Normally I use my tab. Let me do try again from my tab. Okay, so this one I have to record. Stop broadcast. Due to attempt to start or invalid. Communication required. Okay, someone have finished your graph. You may do share. Oh, actually I'm sharing right now. Good. Boleh? Apa tak dia punya graph? Semua diam So now we do have a function for x equal to negative 3x minus 2, and then with the condition negative 2x stop at 4, right? Okay, so now you can see here our m here or our a is negative, right? So kita punya graph will be going down, so they're decreasing. Okay, and then intercept here negative 2, right? So biasanya kita akan proceed up for negative 2. This line numbers negative 2 minus 2. So we got 4 here. Alright. Negative 2 is that based on this kind of the domain given. And 4, 3. Yep. 4 or negative 4? 4, right? Negative 2 to 4. Minus 2. 2 plus 14. Correct? So for your graph. Oops. Ayo. Apa dia buat? Function for x. Negative 2. Yeah, I just jumped there. So I have negative 2 jadi 4. Then 4, 14, right? Negative 2. So this one should be negative 2. Alright. Okay. Ada someone nak share your graph tak? Hello. Ada tak? Function for 14. Negative 2. Negative 2, right? Share kat group. Share sini lah. Share screen, sorry. Share sini boleh? I stop present before I finish my graph, and then you share, and then we discuss, boleh? Okay.
Saya buat dalam kertas.
Dalam kertas. Okay, tak apa. Alright. Okay, so betul tak saya buat ni? Negative 2, 4. Soalan ni negative 2. Should be somewhere here. Negative 2, 4. Betul tak saya punya graph ni? Yang penting kan? Then negative 14, they're going down kan? Like this one. This one. Macam ni kot. This one negative 2. Oh, sini 14 lah. Negative 14. Somewhere here. Okay. Okay tak? Besar sangat. Okay. Alright. So this one, the domain. Negative 2. Sorry. And then your range berapa? Your range tadi berapa? 4?
4 and
4 lagi?
negative 14.
Betul ke 4? Oh, negative 14, right?
Negative 14.
Negative 14, right? Negative 14 and then?
Negative 11.
Negative 11? So dekat satu dah. Boleh you share?
So kita ambil untuk 4 dengan negative 2 ke?
Ya.
So it's negative 14 and 4.
Negative 14 and 4. Oh, I perlu tinggal. So negative 14 and 4. So it should be negative 14 somewhere here. Oh, 4 atasnya. Oh, sorry. Oh, it's somewhere here. So it should be our graph. This one here. This one. Function. X. So negative 2, 4, right? So negative 2, 4. Somewhere here. And then negative 14 is somewhere. Yeah. Right. And then this one should be negative 2. Like this one, right?
Yes.
Okay, oh susah lah nak boleh kat sini. Okay, right. So let me share. Okay, for linear, I think we don't have a problem for this one kan, like direct je. You may tadi lah, lukis pun tak betul lah. Okay, for the rest, you may do by your own, do by your own, then for your intensive. Alright. The next is referred to the absolute value function. Right. This one is quite what we call you're waiting for this one for some condition. Condition memang ada for absolute value function. So what does it mean by absolute value? Is we refer to a number which is symbolized by two vertical lines. There are two vertical lines. Kalau for example you have a 3, you ada apa dia panggil tu absolute value for 3 for example. So the value will be 3 or negative 3, right? So both the function will be 3. Kita akan macam positive kan lah. We're going to positive value from the absolute value. Okay, so this is a general formulation for absolute value function. Okay, and then kalau tengok ni dia buka dua. As I mentioned tadi tu, dia symbolized by two vertical lines. So we do have a positive part and then we do have a negative part. And then look at this one. Yeah. For positive part, x must be greater than 0. For x, the function must be positive. Value can be negative. So value here would be negative. Alright. Domain is standard. Okay, for range, look at the range. Range must be start from 0. Absolute value, the value must be positive. For our output, sometimes we call it output function kita for OY. Right. Okay, so we go to this example, simple example. So we do have a function for absolute value, which is 2x plus 2. So if you can see here, the value for x will be here. Oh, sorry, for function. Okay, so what you need to do. So based on this kind of general representation, you buka lah for piecewise punya function 2x plus 2 is greater than 0, greater or equal to 0. And then we go to the negative punya part, right, which is lesser than 0. Okay, and then what you do, biasa you open lah, and then for this part you cari dia punya value for x. Okay, so now here we do have two functions actually, right? You macam split lah. Okay, so kita akan come out graph with the first function here for the positive part 2x plus 2. 2 somewhere here sini, which is a greater than or equal to negative 1. Okay, negative 1 sini, and then for negative 2x minus 2, ini kita pun going down kan, dia punya graph will be going down here. Right. So dia punya x-axis should be negative 2. Cuma kita tak go for this part because absolute condition. So x is lesser than negative 1 sini lah. Alright. So for next example, next exercise. So you may try, maybe the first one is quite easy, right? Kalau you tengok sini direct je, like x equal to y. So y equal to macam x cubanya, dia punya kecerunan dia. Orang kata apa, more gradient lah, 2x kan. So kalau graph itu macam direct je. Graph. Let me share kat sini. This one. Okay, I want you to try for b first. For function negative x minus 1. Okay. Let me do clear for this one. Okay, you try for B, so I will discuss for A and B. Be direct, yeah. Okay, function.
Doktor nak tengok soalan.
Soalannya this one. Oh, you cannot see, yeah. Oh, you
Oh,
may do
boleh,
it.
boleh, boleh.
I try to. Oh, because I'm sharing from my tab. Tak nampak eh. Okay. Tak ada mana. This one eh. Okay, this one. Okay. Function for x, 2x, 4. Two x less than 0. So your graph will be info R range. Function for x, x minus 1. X minus 1. X 1 greater than 0. Oops. X minus 1, x plus 1.
in ada. Okay.
Oh, sorry, on microphone, sorry. Okay, now we continue for quadratic function. So if you can see here, so this is our general formula for quadratic function. I think I've seen that. So the power for this function is square. The maximum power dia 2, kuasa 2. And then you tengok sini constant for x square ni cannot be 0. So what happen if this kind is 0? Dia takkan jadi quadratic lah. Kalau this one 0, so this one 0, so you akan dapat linear, right? Itu dia punya condition. Okay, sometimes we call it as a parabola. So you akan dapat either U shape parabola ataupun N shape. You guys familiar, right? Okay, dia ada maximum point or minimum point. So to recognize, you akan lukis U shape or N shape, kita refer to kita punya A. If your constant here refer to negative sign, maknanya negative 2x square or negative 5x square, so you akan dapat maximum point. Maximum point which mean you akan buat N shape punya quadratic. So bila you glance the kind of quadratic, you will nampak after this. Okay, minimum point when your A is greater than 0 lah. U shape minimum, which means the minimum value, the lowest value is berapa. Okay, so definition 6.1.4.1 ni kalau tengok sini so this is apa dia panggil completing the square function, completing the square from the quadratic function. Easy for you not to memorize. It's a standard form for function parabola with vertex. Okay, vertex for minimum or maximum value tadi tu kita akan dapat H and K coordinate from here to here. I don't ask you to memorize. Cuma it's good for you to know. After this behind the formula ni macam mana you dapat ni Cumanya direct ni dia panggil completing the square. You akan keluarkan, kita macam factorize kan lah. Tapi in the term of completing the square. Each care the parabola is symmetric with respect to this one. Kalau symmetry Okay, step to plot. To plot quadratic. So you tengok first kali, you kena determine sama ada this one graph open up or down, N shape or U shape. Yang tadi tu lah. Dia kalau dua macam ni you look at dia punya A and then find the vertex, find out the maximum or minimum value. Tengok situ. And then find any intercept. Intercept kat X or intercept or and then complete the graph. Baru you plot. You tarik hujung ke hujung. Okay, so for this example, sketch a graph and determine the domain and range. X square plus 2x minus 1. Alright, I would like to share with you how to get the completing the square in a short way. I that area. Am I sharing my screen? Ada tak? Ada ya?
Yeah.
Okay, no, I mean this one. Okay, good. Let me report this one first. Okay. Okay, for completing the square, you nak convert from the standard quadratic form to in H, right? Sorry. This one is should be tolak kan? Tolak plus K. Kita buat D lah. So I put D here. Oh, sorry. D and E. So to get D, so you just put B minus 2A, and then for A, it is the short way. That's B squared over 4A. You can do outsource the information how to orang kata apa, to prove, to find out this kind of formula ni boleh guna ke tak. Banyak je. Banyak dia guna factorize ke. Semua simple lah. Okay, so you may do write down somewhere lah in that note. Saya kata tu dapat D here, and then dapatkan E from this kind of formula. From general representation formula for quadratic kepada completing square. Untuk kita plot graph, kata apa, mudahlah daripada sini. Okay, alright. So let's go back to this one. Okay, so from this kind of example daripada sini, you may do try that kind of formula. You akan dapat yang ni lah. So x plus 1 A1 plus 1 square minus 2. Alright. Okay. And then you can see kita punya minimum point HK tadi DE, I put DE. So ini should be negative, correct? Kalau you tengok sini, minus H. Okay, so negative 1, negative 2. For our minimum point, you tengok pun you tahu dah. Alright. Okay, boleh draw. Simple je. And then kita punya range, you can see here. From the minimum to the infinity. Ni direct cumanya the way you need to try to get completing the square punya ni lah. Okay, for maximum point punya example, you can see here. Tengok sini, you tahu lah, this one mesti N shape. Do convert from here to here, alright. Okay, kalau if already converted, dia tak ada masalah, you guna je. Okay, so negative 2 ataupun dia punya depan ni, dia punya how curvy you punya, dia punya shape Kalau negative 5 mungkin dia lagi curve. Dia punya lagi, orang kata apa, the spread ni getting smaller lah. Biasa dia macam tu. Okay, x minus 3, 22. Right? So R domain daripada sini ke sini, so we can put R number. So negative infinity to 10. Is it 10 or 22 here? Betul ke 10 sini? It should be 22, right? Yeah. The maximum stop at 22. Okay. So kita ada berapa minit lagi? So can you try one of them? Try what number? Number berapa? A or B? Maybe ada yang boleh share. Ada yang boleh share lah. Susah nak menulis ni. Okay, try for A. A negative is more challenging. Okay, try draw for this kind of graph, and then you have to state the domain and range. Okay, I'll give you 3 to 4 minutes. Okay, let's go. 4 minutes. 4 minutes. Okay, done. Done.
Done.
Okay, last one, I'll share here. Okay. Hey. Am I sharing? Oh, not this one. Okay, stop broadcast. Okay, so I just do draw the graph only here. Okay, so it should be like this one. So you cut at -2, right? Okay. That's so for 13 somewhere here. 13. And then your domain infinity ataupun infinity ataupun apa range negative infinity to 13. Okay, is it same with you guys?
Sama je, sama.
Yes.
I can answer. Okay, good. All right. Okay, and okay. So if you can see here, kita ada case study punya exercise. Ini you go back and then you try lah. Tak ada masalah. And then in the standard, you guys do familiar with this one. Kita given maximum value, maximum point, quadratic wrapper, find the equation, quadratic equation, and then sketch. Simple ya. Okay, given the maximum point standard, and then the alpha A pun dia bagi, and then the sketch. This one critical thinking diperlukan skill. Right. Okay, let's proceed to the next one. The cubic function. All right, cubic, the power is 3. Quadratic dual, cubic 3. So this is a general formulation for cubic function. Right. So if you can see here, ada macam wave. Ada macam wave like that. No wave. Okay. So this is kalau you start with the going up. So your A is positive. Itu the way you boleh glance daripada satu function tu tengok, oh ini positif, dia mesti naik dulu. Ini the negative for A, you start out with negative, and then you turun di naik atas. Okay. Okay, we go to the example here from this function. Right, mean the domain and range. Okay. Okay, for this one, so for me, what can we do? We can do factorize from this to this, right, manually. But to make it easy, you may use your calculator or your machine. You tahu kan how to get this one. Boleh guna, you can use your calculator untuk nak cepat. You can find out you punya answer ni directly, tapi you kena tahulah what button tu. Senang je, you go to equation, cari degree 3, dia ada 2 to 3. Make sure you punya calculator tu FX 507. You boleh dapat this kind of answer, you boleh try. And then you set up dia punya A berapa, A1, for B -2, C -D, and then D6. Dia akan automatically keluar this kind of function. But you have to know how to get from this to this. Itu je. Ini factorize punya skill You buat factorization. Okay. So daripada sini, from this kind of function, when you get this kind of value, dia pintas kat sini. -2, 1 and 3. Okay. Right. And then for y-axis, sorry, kita refer to this ending punya formula. Stakes. And then domain dengan range. Positif dia akan pergi jauh, dia pergi jauh macam tu lah. For cubic. Ini direct So what you do, try to find this value. This one you can use your calculator, and then you can draw directly from this one. And then you may do setup lah. Ini positive, so dia akan going up dulu. Ada some of student mungkin dia tak tahu lah, dia tersilap dia buat going down. Okay, for this one, okay, ini negative. Okay, for this part, we don't have for power of 1 dengan kita punya y-axis kan. So in your calculator, you may do put 0, 0. Dia akan keluar this output lah directly. Okay. So sini axis saja going down. Axis dia dekat 0 lah. 0, 0. Next sini. Okay. Okay, for cubic, right? You nak try ke? Actually, we don't have much time for your session. Banyak lah. Okay, you may do try. Even I pun tak sempat nak try for this one. Simple je, same process. Try to convert, use your calculator, direct. And then for this one pun sama. You may do rearrange kalau ada yang formula yang kata apa, twicely. For example, negative 2x square plus x square. You do rearrange first. And then baru you put in your calculator to get your x answer. Tenang je. Okay, we go for rational function. So rational function, so as you can see, kita pakai ratio punya root word, ratio. So kita ada numerator and denominator. Alright. Okay, and then function for P, function for Q. Ini ada dua function. No common factors, 0. Okay, this one biasa kita akan dengan asymptote lah. Asymptote. Apa yang kita asymptote lah. Okay, tak apa. Alright. Okay, the degree of numerator and denominator. Ini pun very important actually. You akan dapat sini numerator yang belah atas degree of numerator kalau atas besar berbawah. Dia macam mana and power ni power. Let me do this one power. If your degree of numerator sini is lesser than yang bawah ni, so you akan deal dengan horizontal asymptote, which is y equal to 0 lah. 0. Kalau sama, jadi biasa horizontal asymptote dia y based on this kind of function. If atas ni lagi besar dari bawah, tak ada horizontal asymptote. Okay, so ini general formula and 1 over x, ini 1 over ratio. Ini bawah lagi besar. Okay. Okay, this one for negative side. A positive dia covers this side. Positive you tengok sini je, sini dia akan positif. So negative biasa di sini. And going up ke positive part type, jadi semua sini. Of 0, x plus 2 is not equal to 0. Kalau tengok ni, so kita akan dapat x cannot be 0 lah, cannot be negative 2, sorry. Dia boleh close sahaja. Close image, dia close sahaja, close. Alright. So domain for ni can be any real number, cuma you cannot touch for this kind of 2. Right. Okay, so for this one, kalau tengok sini, this one is positive, right? X ni positive. So dia akan go cover for this part and this part. For this one, kalau tengok sini negative x minus 8 minus x ini. So dia akan cover for negative part. Some of you, dia sama, even for me before this time. Let's start, tengok. Yang this part or this part. You refer to this sign here. Okay. Bawah ni you tengok cannot be 0, and then range and domain here you just follow for this one. Direct je. Okay, all right, this one is much more complicated. Now we do have a horizontal asymptote and vertical asymptote cover for both. Yeah. Right. Okay, so ini untuk horizontal asymptote for numerical punya function. So bawah ni for vertical asymptote. Bawah ni it cannot be 0. Oh, wait. Okay, sorry. Okay, so for this one, for horizontal asymptote, which means you tak boleh nak approach for this kind of value for y, and then for vertical asymptote -1 sini. So dia akan move from 0 tadi tu kan actually you play around dengan yang this one kan. Kita akan move based on the vertical and horizontal asymptote sini. Dia just follow je. Sini for horizontal, this one for vertical. Okay. Okay. Ini pun I tak sempat nak buat sorry. Okay, so we go to the next one, exponential function, the cubic exponential function. So you may do try for this one at your home. Okay, for exponential function, all right. In your secondary school, kita cover for an index kan, index, basic index punya knowledge kena ada. Function for x equal to a power of x, right? Okay, so this is for net positive part for exponential function. They can going up macam ni, and then this is for negative part for exponential function, right? Okay, di atas x, this one bawah x, going down. Alright, so do differentiate for exponential and linear. Linear nampak sama. Even if you go in real data set, so you can see differentiate. This data represent linear or exponential. They're going up, linear pun going up. So if you do good in looking at your data, so you boleh differentiate. Oh, ini linear data or exponential punya data. It depend on data. Normally in biology kita refer to exponential punya growth, kan kita pakai exponential punya growth instead of kita pakai straight line macam biasa. It depend on your data. Alright. So for this one, ini simple example je. So going up, before this kita cover for this one kan, and now kita ada tahu kita punya y-axis which is 2, but we cannot touch for this kind of 2. So kita naik from 1 to this one. So you can see range kita start from 2. Better. Right? So same for this part, negative sign, so they're going down, and then this is the domain, and this is for range for dia punya negative exponential function. This one kita refer to recap, we just do recap. Okay, alright. Some exercise when you cover, you boleh tengok sini example you can set sini x1 macam mana. Right. For log function, ini ada association dengan exponential function. Right? You play around with the index and topics. How to get from here to get here. Okay, log x base a. Ini logarithmic function is the inverse of exponential function. Ini tahu Okay. Right. This one we refer to exponential function. Positive and going up. And then for negative, dia bukan pergi belah sini. Dia inverse for this kind of graph. Log y base a. Okay. Okay. Right. So if you can see here, ini log function. So if you do convert, you can for exponential dia akan jadi macam ni lah. Alright. Okay, log x base 3 base 3. Alright. So log for this one pun sama direct. And this one for exponential function. Okay, domain 0 to infinity. I mean range any from bawah ni sampai ke atas for infinity lah. Right? Okay. Ini kita tak buat exercise lah. Okay, alright. For the last one, log x plus 3 base 3. So tengok ini function dia. Okay. So log the positive, so you can see here, alright. And then if you do convert for exponential, dia akan jadi macam ni. Okay, so for domain and for the range, you can see ini quite complicated lah. Not too complicated. Kalau you go in there, you tengok satu dia simple je. Okay, the exercise ni tak cover so don't have to worry. Our assessment not cover for this kind of topics Cumanya you may go back and have a look what you need to cover for this kind of exponential and logarithmic. Okay. So I think last one. Sorry last one, a piecewise defined function. Ini tak ada apa You just spread. You just separate. I just separate some expression into separate expression. You have done that already. Okay, for this kind of function, you have a several function here. Sama yang you buat macam absolute value. You split. Cumanya this one, we do have a several function in one function. Macam for this one, the first one is -3, and then the condition x is lesser than 2. So graph for this one is this one. And then the piecewise they separate into some pieces of expression. Ini expression. Okay, 2x minus 6, this one. Sorry, ini -3. -3 for flat, and then this one for linear function. And then condition you just follow for this one. Okay, for next one we do have a 3 expression here. Num flat for this one, constant. Okay, x square both refer to the quadratic. So this one x square going up ni lah, U shape. Cumanya ada condition, we need to start from 0 sini. So you tak boleh cover for this part lah. Alright, for this one, the first one, ini kan condition dia 0. Alright, lesser than or equal to 0. So here to here ini cover. Okay, so boleh tengok dia punya range ni. Okay, range we use union, which is dia pakai macam or lah. Or range here to here or here to here or element. Why we use the element here? Because we refer to constants in here. Ini direct je. Okay, alright. This one you may do by your own. Ini direct je. Cuma you have to do more practice to visualize from this kind of function. You boleh nampak in graphical punya representation. Alright. Okay. So I think that's all from me. Sorry kalau ada banyak technical punya problems. So I would like to pass the session to Dr. Adam because he would like to share something for you guys. So thanks. We do have limited time. Okay, thank you. Assalamualaikum and bye.
Okay, saya sambungan saya sikit je. First of all, lepas ni saya akan bagi satu soalan pop quiz dalam group bridging. So siapa yang dalam group bridging tu wajib jawab. Kalau tak jawab, saya akan tanda tak jawab dan saya akan bagi tahu lah dia tak menjawab lah. Saya akan report dalam laporan saya. Saya akan bagi soalan tersebut dan soalan tersebut jawab dalam masa 10 minit. Okay, memang 10 minit cukup. Dan saya akan bagi satu link Google Form untuk kamu jawab. Okay, Google Form ni untuk kamu jawab survey lah, adakah kamu faham atau tidak sebelum dan selepas sebarang cadangan, dan juga you need to upload your answer of the pop quiz at the Google form. Okay, saya ulang. I will share the question of the pop quiz to test your understanding for today's session in the WhatsApp group bridging. WhatsApp group bridging saya bagi sekarang. So boleh tengok. Okay. Wait, mana Naim? Okay. Wait, I check first sekejap je. Soalan ni boleh jawab terus. Tetapi syarat dia jawab dalam masa 10 minit. Jawab lebih daripada 10 minit itu menunjukkan dia tak tepat lah pengujian kami ni. So make sure jawab dalam masa 10 minit. Saya dah share dalam group. Baru je share, you can take a look after you ready nak jawab. Bila ready nak jawab. Okay. Lepas tu saya akan share juga Google Form sekarang. Okay, Google Form ni bila kamu dah ada jawapan, kamu upload ke dalam Google Form ini. Okay. Ada sebarang soalan? Semua wajib jawab ya. So, okay, why not? Semua boleh jawab sekarang. Kita akan tutup sesi ni pada pukul 12.20. 12.20 ke 12.30. So, semua sekarang minta jawab. Tak jawab, saya tanda tak jawab. Ada barang soalan sebelum saya apa ni? Alah, baru nak share. Okay, abaikan yang Dr. Zana bagi tu. Kacau. Saya dah buat dah. Ambil yang saya bagi ni. Sebab saya nak kamu upload jawapan. Jangan salah hantar kat Dr. Zana punya pula. Okey, boleh bermula jawab. Nanti kita cut off the session ni pada 12.20 ke 12.30. Silakan menjawab. Jawab atas kertas kosong dan upload guna cam scanner and so on. Korang dah biasa buat. Ada sebarang soalan tak? Kalau tak ada, saya lepaskan korang jawab. Okey. Saya akan bersama kamu. Saya tutup mic, tapi apa-apa, hello saya. Oh. Semua dapat tengok soalan ke? Seorang tolong respon please.
Dapat.
Okey. Beres. Teruskan.
Ini pun akan jadi attendance kamu ya. So siapa yang terkeluar tu, saya tak tahu. Bye Naim. Kalau dah siap, minta upload ya dalam Google Form yang saya bagi. Ada yang dah respon?
Rasa saya dah submit.
Saya tahu Muhammad Nur Alif ya. Okey, terima kasih. Okey, dia berjaya hantar dan saya boleh check jap. Alah abang, letaklah nama lain kali. Okey, dekat jawapan kamu letak nama ya. Senang saya nak kalau hilang ke apa, itu je. Tapi Alif tak payah hantar dah. Alif tak payah hantar dah. Tak payah hantar dah. Dia boleh sekali je submission. Yang lain minta tulis nama dengan nombor ID dekat kertas jawapan. Okey. Alif tunggu dulu, kita habis sama-sama. 12 alright, 12.30. Kau relax dulu. Apa, mantap lah. Alamak. Oh, dah ada 4 orang respon. Thank you, Lok Jiajin, Kirin Adriana, Amir dah hantar. Okay. Nanti saya akan share lah result dalam group bridging lepas saya marking. For the time being, focus on test first. And for your information, for DMS students, saya tengah upload video semalam.
Sir,
Ya.
yang form Dr. Zana tu kena isi juga ke?
Yang mana Dr. Zana bagi tu?
Tak
Tak payah. Tu yang kata saya minta dengan dia, saya nak contoh, dia pergi letak dalam tu.
Alright.
Alright, tak payah jawab. Saya punya. Tu sesi ni. Kita tamatkan sesi 12.30, make sure you upload 12.30 Kalau tak, saya akan tengok nantilah. Tapi make sure jawab dalam 10 minit je.
Sir,
Ya, saya.
nak tanya pasal discrete automatic boleh ke?
Bukan sesi ni. Sabar dulu.
Okay.
Tanya dalam grup dulu boleh, Adam?
Baik, sir.
Saya tak mau ganggu yang lain. Dengan kita fokus dulu yang ni. Saya jawab soalan Leong Teman, tak jawab lagi. Okey, ada 5 minit lagi. Apa tika ni? Okay, we have around 5 minutes left. Teruskan.
Sir, saya tak dapat upload.
Tak dapat upload apa nama?
Dia kena reject, server reject.
Kena reject. Okay,
Boleh tak?
please WhatsApp me personally.
Okay, thank you.
Yang survey tu you boleh jawab tak?
Yang survey tu kan kena submit the answer, then only I can.
Okay, tak apalah. Kalau macam tu nanti saya bagi survey lain nak you jawab juga. Boleh
Okay, boleh. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Kita ada 1 minit lagi. Saya tengok berapa orang dah hantar. Ada 16, ada lagi yang tak dapat hantar. Okay, so let me tell you this. Kepada yang, macam mana saya nak cakap? Kalau yang ada masalah upload, pergi kalau boleh upload dalam Google Form tu juga. Tetapi kalau tak boleh, personal WhatsApp saya. Saya record data untuk kefahaman kamu sebenarnya, untuk menandakan keberkesanan bridging course ni. Dan data semua kat dalam. Okay, mungkin nanti saya akan share kepada yang personal tu. Thank you Tachayani. Nanti saya bagi, macam ni lah. Untuk yang tak dapat upload tu, minta jawab ni. Soalan survey tu, just tak payah submit. Kamu yang hantar personal WhatsApp saya, letak details kefahaman, boleh? Faham tak Tacha? Okay, dan submit beres. Yang Tacha tadi, you jawab soalan ni, boleh? Soalannya ialah, please rate your understanding before, 1 to 5. Okay? Asu? Ya?
Dekat personal ke saya bagi form
Personal WhatsApp. Personal WhatsApp.
Okay.
You dah tahu soalan kan?
Uh-uh.
Just give your rating and then your suggestion or any comments. Nanti saya manually upload dalam Google Excel tersebut.
Okay.
Alright. It's 12:31 right now. Kepada yang tak siap upload, minta upload juga sebab saya nak record data dan minta jawab survey tu. Jawab dalam masa 10 minit. Upload tu tak kisahlah. Tapi kalau boleh by today, supaya kamu boleh rehat. Ada apa-apa soalan sebelum saya tutup sesi pada hari ini? Kalau tak ada soalan, saya mewakili Dr. Naim dan diri saya. We would like to express our gratitude to everyone because of attending this session. Hopefully can help you to foster your understanding in the remaining mathematics course that you will take. Okay, that's all from us. Thank you so much, Dr. Naim, by the way, and we see you guys again at another time. Thank you so much and goodbye.
Okay, sir.
Thank you,
See you
sir.
again.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.